welcome to the next episode on the, what is this? The Aluminum Falcon server version 6. It's been quite a while since I've had an episode, maybe about 2-ish weeks. There was a lot of stuff that came up, and it slowed down my production of videos, unfortunately. So in the meantime, there was some things that I worked on off camera. Between then, it was just some things that I felt that was not all that interesting. I showed some clips of it on my Instagram account. So far, this is some of the stuff that I have. I wasn't absolutely sure everything that is supposed to be in here, but obviously I just throw in something that looks kind of like speakers. I thought this area might have been used as an auditorium. There's also a possibility it had been used as a showroom. I was in there a few years ago, back in maybe around 2008, and I remember something about that, but I just can't recall perfectly. So I did what I could just to see how it worked out. And this is so far what I've got. There's some things that still need being filled in. I'm thinking of actually putting rooms in. I've put in some chandeliers as well. All the lighting's been put in for the most part. This area I was thinking of maybe turning into a bit of a library. This area, I'd have to just put in some desks here and there as well. The same thing with this, that might be turned into maybe an office space or maybe another bedroom. This was originally, well, I don't really recall what it was. This right here is definitely an area where there's like a service desk and stuff of that nature. This goes down to the basement, I believe. Or not. There's still some stuff there and there that I've got to finish up. I've got to clean these out. So I've got to fix that. But yeah, I've got all these fireplaces that I put in all over the place. I can't recall in the last video if I had shown that or not. I have a feeling that I didn't. And I'm still contemplating whether or not to make these into doors. I've got lots of space for it right here, so I might just go ahead and do that. Let me see. Downstairs here. This I'm going to probably make look like a very large storage room area. It really does look like a basement, and that was the look that I was trying to go for. So there's some areas that I haven't put any lighting in. Thank goodness that it's in peaceful mode because there's being mobs everywhere otherwise. Let's just close that. So there's nothing really in these spots just yet. So yeah, that's that. I mean, it's nothing fancy looking, but and that's just a tiny little storage room. And same there, all lit up. I'm just gonna show you guys the upstairs. Where did I put the stairs to the upstairs? Oh, of course. Yeah, there you go. And I did change this out as well. I didn't like the coloring of the first one, so I changed that out. And I also put a chandelier up here, which I thought looked pretty sweet. And yeah, you've got couches here and there, and power pots. I still really don't know what to do with a lot of the space that I have available. But yeah, another chandelier in there. This little row here of windows that goes over to here to another fireplace that I have not activated. I think it was probably because it was too close to the wood, and so yeah, I just left that one alone. And there's another fire in here. I really like this one, like just the setup. Looks really cozy. What the? I bet you that one burnt up by fire. Just destroy that. It probably got lit by the fire. That's fine. I was worried that the flooring would catch on fire, but it seems like I had set it up just enough clearance that it won't. I don't think there's anything in there, not particularly. This down here is going to be turned into like a conference room where there's a long table that stretches across the whole thing, so I have yet to do that. I'll be doing that in this episode. So there are a few other things that I'll be throwing in here. Probably some plants as well, just to spruce it up, make it look a little bit nicer. And I think this, oh, I showed that already. And I think that's it. I mean, there's also the attic as well, but I also set it up to look like an attic. So it's just lit up. There's nothing fancy about it. So, I think that's all. I mean, I don't really think this is what it originally looked like for the attic in the actual building. It was probably a lot nicer this, but I didn't have much to work with on what it looked like on the inside, which is unfortunate. I would have loved to have been able to see the whole thing. But in honor of the fact that it is spring and the server this month. It's going to be a spring, I think, what do you call it? The build is that we're going to be doing is spring related. I'm going to finish the garden right here. I'm going to finish over here as well. Finish that driveway. Anything else that requires building spring related stuff where, you know, you got flowers, you've got gardens, etc. That's what I'm going to do in this episode. It shouldn't take me too long. I do have lots of pictures on showing me how to do it. So that should come together relatively fast, I'm hoping, at least. Then after that, I've been thinking about still, like, February's build was supposed to be some sort of transportation. It was an optional build, but I liked the idea so much that I started thinking about what exactly I would make. And I was thinking, as I had said in the previous episode, maybe the Millennium Falcon, or maybe the Ebenhawk from Star Wars. I've looked through other people's builds, and it doesn't actually look that great. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm contemplating maybe I might make a space, not necessarily space station, but maybe a spaceship that it looks like maybe what I might consider a semi-futuristic one. So I'm thinking kind of like the idea of, what do you call it? They use centripetal force, I think it is, spinning of, I'm just looking around now, and there's some things that popped up in the last little bit that was really cool, such as the build. That's pretty cool. The build that Roseless made, which is somewhere around here. I think she made a train station. I was supposed to help her out with it, but just fell through. And right down here. But yeah, I'm just going to give you guys something to look at while I'm talking. But yeah, so I've got some designs that I've put together already for it. And it's looking really good so far. And it really works well with the idea of the Minecraft block, which looks better when it's square instead of trying to go on diagonals. So this is Roseless's train that she had put together. I'm pretty impressed, actually. It looks really cool. And I like how she used the anvils and using ones that are cracked every once in a while. Really made a really nice looking track to it. So that's all for the update for this time around, and I'll show you guys a clip once I've got the gardens in, and if we have enough time, maybe I might start building that space station / spaceship, where it's has the revolving circular thing around it. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to start onto that. I think I'm gonna put it up. I don't know how high. What the something's up there. What the heck's that? Alright then. Just curious. Check. Chest of secrets. There's nothing in there. I'm disappointed. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first in this episode, at least for this part, is there's some bushes and stuff like that we need to get in here. I think there's about 3 here, some other bushes there. And over here, there's a building I have to throw in. I'm not going to make it like functional or anything. It starts from around here and works its way out. My main interest for this episode is to focus primarily on the gardens, as this is supposed to be, well, I was kind of hoping to leave it for this month anyways, but the gardens and all that stuff, and the idea that, you know, it's spring and going along with the spring build optional thing, whatever you want to call it. So I thought that would work well. So there's bushes here, building there. There's bushes along here, and I think there's some more bushes going along here, maybe a couple. And I think that's about it. So once I get those done, I'll give you an update and show you. But after that, the majority of this episode, or at least not so much that, most of what I'll be working on for this episode will be in this little part here. This is actually a very large garden. It goes all the way out to, I think, around here. And I think that's where it stops, somewhere around here. I can't recall. I think there's also a building that same building that I was talking about stretches out back here. And then there's some greenhouses that go out this way. And then there's some other things that I can't find any pictures on, but I think there might be some more stuff around this area as well. I'm limited to finding out exactly where that is, so I've looked through hundreds of pictures trying to get the entire layout of this place, and it has been very, very difficult. Alright, so we've gotten those bushes in, they're all in place. I do want to go and throw in maybe just some grass here and there, take out the flowers here and there, just because it doesn't look 100% exactly what as I'd like. And there's certain things areas that just should be filled in. Otherwise it just looks really empty and weird. It's not like everything can always be perfect after all, but yeah, that looks not bad. Just fill in some spots here and there. Maybe leave a few things here and there. There's always dandelions in places. I'm not going to allow lots of them, but maybe just here and there. It is dark. Alright, now that we've got that over, yeah, that's basically it. I just threw those in there, those in there. I'm trying to keep them out about as close as I possibly can to the original, so that's why this looks as it does. There's approximately 4-ish, 5-ish bushes over here, and a couple of semi-trees. And then you've got these bushes over here, and some bushes over here. So that's all for that bit there. I did get the pole in. There is supposed to be some sort of flagpole of some nature. I think it's a flagpole. I can't actually see the flag in the top. So I just kind of defaulted to just basically a red flag. Whatever. Also, I threw in a sign here. Heritage Site, Parkwood Estate. This is interesting. This was actually a house. This was the MacLeod family residence from 1917 to 1972. It was made by some sort of architect from Toronto. I did not know that. I thought it was always has been a museum of some nature, but I have found out otherwise. Oh yeah. I thought somebody built even closer. No, that's not too bad. Okay, well, yeah. So I guess next we are working, or I am working. Where'd it go? Right over here. This is what we're going to be working on next. Yeah, I just discovered something interesting. I was looking at the Google Maps image of Parkwood Estate, and I realized something. This section right here is actually a building. There is no windows here. I thought there might have been, so I just was basically assuming. Just isn't always good when you're trying to make something about as accurate as you possibly can. So I just had, well, I didn't really want to break it all, so I just wanted to use a bunch of pistons to go and do that. I've done that on multiple occasions while building this. Oh shoot, I forgot about that. Oh well. I'm just taking out this glass, and I've got that fixed. But there's an entire section right there. I'm pretty sure it's a greenhouse. Get wrecked just left. Yeah, I saw her earlier, but didn't really say hi or anything. I said hi, but no. Anyways, whatever. So this section right along here, and I'm just marking it out with grass. All of this is in fact a building, and it stops right here is the end of the garden itself, and that's the same thing going all the way over to here. Approximately, this is the end of the garden. Then behind here, it looks like there is some fencing or something, some sort of fencing that's going on back there, or maybe a wall. I can't tell. It looks like, but regardless of that, yeah. So you got right around here is a big pond. I can't really tell what kind, but then there's also on the one side, these two sides, there are multiple gardens. They're nothing really fancy. They're actually a little bit on the ugly side, to be honest. They're probably great looking in person. I never saw that section when I visited there last, but just from Google Maps, it's looking, in satellite mode, it doesn't look particularly pleasant looking. It just looks like there's a lot of green. Maybe it's the end of summer, and maybe a lot of their plants are dying off or something. I don't know. Regardless of that, this building wraps around here, it goes around through the front here, and then it goes over to here. And I'm pretty sure it's, I think it's all some sort of, I'm pretty sure it's, that's the greenhouse. And they have a lot of greenhouses around there. It just stretches all over the place. And I'm not planning really to put anything inside of them. I'm thinking I might just make the buildings themselves, because they are architecturally very, the sides and the outside were made to look nice and to reflect the same look of the building itself. But they're flat, boring, and it's just full of plants. And that's just plant rows and rows and rows of plants. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Mainly just I thought that was kind of cool, putting the redstone in. Okay, quick progress update. So this is what I've got so far. I've been kind of laying it out. I ended up going a little bit farther than I anticipated. It's just because it wouldn't fit in comfortably. Because it wouldn't fit in comfortably, I had to, what do you call it? Fudge the numbers a little. Well, I guess I could bring this out a bit farther. I don't think that it would look good if I brought this out any farther. So unfortunately, this is lining up with this, and this isn't really supposed to. It's supposed to, this weird, I can't remember what they're called, is supposed to go out a bit farther than this is, but I don't think it will matter too much. I've realized why these gardens in the satellite images of Google Maps of the estate looks kind of ugly. It's actually because these are bushes. Every single one of these is a grouping of bushes. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to be filling in all of these right here with potzel, and on top of that, then this part right here, that's going to be the pond. And so I'm going to be using, I think I'll be using maybe wool, maybe just straight up white wool. I think that'll do the trick. It's either white wool, or I might use the same designs as I was for the others, maybe some chiseled quartz blocks. So maybe what I'll do is I'll make one half out of quartz and the other one out of the white wool. And we'll just see how that looks. But the it has a bit of a curve, so this part, it's supposed to go in kind of like this. I don't actually have a space to fully display what that's supposed to. No, I'm already messing up. Wow, this is tight. Like this. Oh, this is so tight. What am I doing? What is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. I have very little space to work with. Right then. Something like that, except it's a lot harsher. More like this, but it's supposed to be a lot farther out than that. I need more space. I wanted it to be like this size here because it was more, it would allow me to more show what the look of these bush garden things were supposed to be, but I think I'm out of space, and it's not really the gardens that are the most prominent in the satellite image. Even when I see pictures of it, it's not really that. It's all the focus on the pond, and the pond is very different. It has more of a curve. It looks more like maybe this, or this. I've messed up again. Like that. Is that it? Let's just destroy that there. Delete that. Punchy. It's still not exactly as I'd like it. Its curve isn't good enough. It's not round enough looking. Not much you can do about that when it comes to these kinds of blocks. Maybe if I just take it out like this. That looks so weird. Maybe if I was to flatten this bit out here. I think that might be it, actually. And then you just bring out this block right here. It just looks like it might be a bit too big once you get it to that size. I don't know what I'll do. I think I'm just going to stick with that. That works for me. I'll have to dig through these a little bit more and just squash these down. make that look a little bit better. Well, it's not gonna, to me, look the best because there is supposed to be, oh, that just makes it too small. Darn it. It's so squishy back here. I'm gonna just cut it off right there and we'll work with it like that. That'll do, I think. Maybe go like this. There's just no winning. Maybe I'll go with this. Right then, okay, so I'm beginning to go and put all the bushes and stuff of that nature in. I wanted to put them in first before I started to go and put the water in, just in case I end up putting any other plants on, and maybe I might break a block and might spread the water out, and I didn't really want to destroy anything. So here's the leaf palette. I wanted to stay away from, like, the, what are these? I think this, yeah, that's acacia. Okay, and that right at the end there is the dark oak, I think. Dark oak? No? Yes, I think. Acacia, dark oak. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, good. Right then. So that's what those are, and I've been putting them in so far, just trying to keep the colors somewhat. Like, I think I used acacia there, and for these I think I used jungle. Where's the jungle? Jungle. Yeah, that's jungle. And then I used birch for those. The nice thing about birch is that despite being in savanna over here, the birch always has a, generally speaking, green tinge to it, while the other ones have a more of a yellow tinge to it, which is not particularly nice looking. In consideration of the Google Maps image, it's kind of what it looks like. So I'm just kind of putting in more of like an S pattern throughout this, and I've been varying the palette up here and there. I think I might go back to birch for this one right here, but I've just been going along like that, and I think I'm going to do the same thing for over here. It looks like that, yep. So you go like this, then like this. So I've just been mirroring both sides, and it is beginning to look really cool, I gotta say. Huh. Well, that turned out pretty good. I guess onto the pond. Right then, so we've got the water in. I'm still messing around with ideas about how exactly I'm going to make this look. There are some spots that are a bit higher. So I was thinking of maybe... these are the areas where I was thinking it might have been better to use the chiseled blocks instead, or chiseled quartz blocks instead, because they look like there's like pedestals or something. It's the same thing with cobblestone walls. I wish that there was other blocks or other walls that look similar to this. Like, there's so many mod packs and things like that you can add in that give you so many different types of walls, and I love those mod packs. Unfortunately, that's not in these, so I have to put up with these instead. Oh, I don't think it's there. It is there, yes. So they're like go along on these points right here, one on each edge. I'm not sure which would be on the... Ooh, there seems to be a little difference in these two. So I need to put this right here. And that means that there needs to be something there, and then there. There we go. Problem resolved. Right then. So, yeah, I'm just using these torches to melt out all the ice. And hopefully that'll... It's just easier than putting down water sources. I felt that this would be the easier method. And I think this might be the easier, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh well, either way, it'll be good. I'll put one more there. So does it look good? I think it looks pretty good. It looks very interesting, I gotta say, if nothing else. Okay. Well, error. This one's the error. It's supposed to be on the outside. Look at that, I'm all over the place. So yeah, I am still trying to determine what exactly would be the best method for this bit here. I'm confused. There's all sorts of different things that I can do. I could put maybe like fence posts instead. It's gonna take some thought. I just I can't tell. It would be the best method. I'm even thinking maybe I might put some quartz stairs instead. I think that might give it a bit more look to it. I'll try that. Well, I gotta say, the quartz stairs is definitely an improvement. I think I'm gonna stick with it. It just looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot more. It looks a lot more like what I was hoping it would look like. So I'm just going around putting these all in, and then I'll show you what this looks like. Oh yeah, that gives a lot more personality to this build. The only thing I'm a little bit disheartened by is just the look of that. I'm gonna have to maybe replace that with a regular quartz block. I don't see any other box I could use. I'll just use this. I was thinking of carved, but I'll work with this, I guess. Put this in. Let's see what that looks like. Does it look proper? Does it look good? I think that works. Just replace those. So this is going to go into each corner here, like that. And I'm thinking of putting instead maybe a fence post, like a birch fence post instead. Just see what that looks like. And I was thinking of maybe, because these are supposed to be like pedestals or something, maybe I might put a plant pot on top to make it look like there's something going on the top there. Where are they? Plant pots maybe underneath here. There they are. I don't know what else I might use. Is there anything else I can use? I don't think so. Let's stick with that. Where'd it go? There it is. Let's just see what that looks like. Definitely looks odd. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just stick with the cobblestone wall, and I'm thinking I might actually put like maybe some white flowers or something like that in there just to top it off, to give it a bit of a crown to it, like this. How's that look? Does it look proper? A little bit more light to it. More life, I should say. I wish I could actually put some lighting into this build. It would definitely spruce it up some. Maybe I might put in some. That's definitely something like hidden light sources and stuff like that. Primarily, I think there they are, sea lanterns. I just go and throw some down in the bottom there. Now this is 4 blocks by 4 blocks. I wonder if I could just hide them in the corners. Just pick that block up there, put this back there, and hide them in the corners, like maybe in here. How about that? Does that look good? Lights up the area. I could put that in the corners maybe. And I mean, that's not something that's in the original base. The original build. But it's just so dark otherwise. And it's just, because of that, it just doesn't have a good look to it. It needs light. You don't throw any light into a build like this, it really feels cold and empty and unlived, not lived in. So hopefully that'll do the trick. It looks like also I didn't notice this, but there's a couple areas that I need to fix up. I want them all to look like that for those corners there. Let's just get that fixed. Can I? That worked? Cool, I didn't notice it, but it looks like the other ones are okay, and that's how it's supposed to be. I was also thinking maybe putting one in the center. Let's just find out the count. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it's 14. Okay. That means regardless of what I try to do, there's going to be an odd number in. So maybe I'll just count out 4 and then throw it in maybe right here. Right there. And then count in 4, maybe right there. There we go. I think that looks good. And then we can put this right here. And One more. Here. Oh, complete curiosity. What the heck is breaking? It's probably tons and tons of grass. Or it might be these sheep over here. Yeah, whatever. Is that looking better? It's a lot lighter. And that's really what I wanted. I mean, you got torches that are still in there, and it's not great that they're not melting nearly as fast as I was hoping they were going to. But just throw down torches on the remaining pieces of ice, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Just throw one on every single one of those blocks, and maybe they'll disappear. If they don't, I wonder if there's probably enough water source blocks that I could just break them. Yeah, look at that. I mainly wanted to make sure that I see that it's not too dark. That looks beautiful. Look at that. It's like a little gem right in the center of the garden. Okay, maybe I'll just chuck in some flowers here and there. Put some here. There's got to be some other stuff here and there. And like certain areas, there's definitely not supposed to be flowers, but in that spot over there, I'm pretty sure they would have put something over there. I'm not sure exactly all of what, but they might have put. They wouldn't put tulips, but we'll just see what it looks like. Give it a little bit more brightness to the otherwise bland looking look of this place. That's a bit better. There's some light in there. I'm still considering what exactly I should do with this part here. But it looks good. So another part of the base done. I guess I really do need to go and throw this wall in there. That's the only thing that is annoying me. I don't know if it's sand-based color as well. It probably is, so I'm just going to make it that color as well and blend that on in. This over here is a detailed wall, but I'll continue to crack away at this. Maybe when I've got a whole whack of updates and things all done within, and another part of the building's all built, then I'll add in a bit more. I do have a new, what do you call it? I've got the blueprint set up for what should have been my March build, which was, you know, the, let's just see my, there we go. Yeah, that was for the transportation build. And that right there, that took me some time to think about, as I had mentioned earlier, and I finally concluded that it is going to be definitely some sort of transportation device for space, or like a spaceship or a shuttle that would take people from maybe like Earth to Mars, and it would have all those things for like centrifugal force for making fake gravity and stuff like that. And yeah, you guys will get to see that in the next episode. So I think that's everything. That's all the time I have for this episode. I'm sorry, guys, it took a long time to actually get this episode out. There was a lot of stuff happening in IRL, unfortunately, that interrupted my schedule. But we should be back on schedule on Saturday mornings at around 9 a.m. as usual. And I hope to, guys, I'll see you all there. See you guys all next time. See you.